Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Hannibal reaction. This is Froid Live, and my name is Matt. Hello everybody. How have you guys been since last week? So, last time on Hannibal, what happened? We had the human totem pole, which was too dope, and then we kind of solved that real quick. But it was a good solve. I liked it. I liked the resolution to that guy just being like, "You killed your own son," and she was like, "Fuck." And that was it. That was the end of that. More importantly, so Will's going off rails. Will is like last episode. He literally just skipped time. He King Crimson the fuck out of the episode. Like he erased like 3-4 hours of time. He also hallucinated that he was talking to an entire class, and he wasn't. There was the development with Elena and the relationship, and also we have, of course, we have good old Hannibal. Just actually, he's actually concerned about Will, and that is something I want to point out. Is the fact that he's actually concerned about Will. But the thing is that about previous episode, I'm actually like skimming through it right now. Is that Abigail came back. We had a bunch of Abigail, and the secret that she murdered, I forgot what his name was. Nicholas Boyle, was that something like that? I think it was something like that. So that guy, she murdered that guy, and the thing is that she wants to write a book about her life, using Freddie Lowndes, which is the fucking worst person you can use for that. But sure. The thing is that she wants to not to stop having this fear, this burden. So she was like, I'm gonna uncover the body. They're gonna find the body. They're gonna interrogate me, and I'm gonna be like, no, I know nothing. And then they're gonna be like, okay, you can move on. And then I'll have to stop being scared about that. So they did that, but then Will went. So Jack Crawford was super sus, and like he was suspicious of her, but he never stopped being suspicious of her, I suppose, but Alana was. And the only reason why Alana was is because she was like, well, Hannibal wouldn't lie, which is like... Anyway, so, that happened, but then Will went and checked the body and hit his magical, moody blues. I'm going backwards in time in order to... I'm not going to stop with the Jodo references. I'm going backwards in time to see what actually happened, and he was like, Abigail killed them, and then he went to Hannibal, hoping that it wouldn't be true, but... Then Hannibal was like, all right, totally, she killed them. But like Hannibal played it in such a manner which was, well, though I help her hide the body and we lied because Jack Crawford would crucify her for it, and then her public image would be destroyed and her future would be gone, and I didn't want that for her. And you know that's true, which is true. So then that's the reason. The thing is that Jack Crawford would also be like, you help your father, and they are kind of operating on the assumption that she didn't, but then at the end of the episode she's like, no, I totally did. And we got to see like a little scene at the end in black and white to show that it was a flashback, where she actually does go and chat up one of the girls, one of the victims, and then her dad is probably just gonna go and kill her. But and the thing is that again, we talked about it a little bit, but like it's not even something I can fully blame Abigail, because it must be so fucked to be born into that family, to that guy, and for that guy to just have this aura of like, I'm going to murder you unless you bring me someone else I can murder, right? And then she's like, because like when you see that scene, he doesn't even say anything. He just stares at the girl, and fucking Abigail knows. She's like, oh shit, okay, I have to do this or I'm gonna die next. And Abigail is not selfless enough to be like, well, fucking kill me. I'm not gonna help you kill anyone else, because Abigail is also like a scared teenager. So what the fuck is she gonna do? So Abigail is so fucked. So there you go. And that's a reveal. And also Hannibal kind of knew that. He was just trying to make her say it, and she finally admitted to it. So here we are. It's not necessarily she was lying. It's that she didn't want to admit it herself. So that is something interesting. But okay, I think that is pretty much it for the intro. Okay, so we're actually getting close to the end of the season. We have like 4 more episodes, including this one. So 3 after this one. So it's okay. Okay, we're having fun here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you want to check out the Patreon, do that for early access episodes as well as full length. So there you go. Plug in. All right. Hannibal, season 1, episode 10. Let's go. Oh, she's a horse girl. 100%. Like, yes. That will make sense. I wish I had met a horse girl when I was in high school. Is it right underneath your bed? Oh damn, it's Kira Yoshikage. Holy fuck! What kind of wound was that it splattered that bad?
To draw a clock face. Numbered.
Okay, interesting exercise.
Yeah. Baltimore, Maryland. My name is Will Graham.
A simple reminder. A handle to reality for you to hold on to. I know you're alive.
Oh man, that's interesting. Oh man, like in some ways I feel like maybe Hannibal is the best therapist you could have, like psychiatrist, because it's one that understands murder. So like, I don't like that. Is this a dream? This could be a dream. What would you just do it raw on the table like that? Dream. Or hallucination. Either or, it works.
Well.
Oh my god. Did he skip the entire top until here when he was doing his job?
I know you don't like to be the cause for concern, but I am officially concerned about you.
Officially.
Yes, that's right.
Took a couple episodes.
Do you have anyone that does this better unbroken than I do broken?
I think it makes you real well.
Victim scratched your killer deep enough to peel tissue under the fingernails.
Oh.
Never drew blood.
Why didn't he bleed?
After he cut up the victim's face, looks like he was trying to pull her skin back.
What the fuck?
I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and I looked right through me. I know what kind of crazy I am. This isn't that kind of crazy. This could be seizures. This could be a tumor. A blood clot.
Okay.
Dr. Lecter here is one of the sanest men I know.
My question is, can we trust this doctor? Because Hannibal recommended him, so like... Alright, let's look at an MRI. I think it's called an MRI. I watch enough House MD.
It's encephalitis. That's your pre-diagnosis? Yes. I could smell it. A doctor has to weigh the ultimate benefit of scientific study. Even in these terms, we know so little about the brain. There are great discoveries to be made.
Is he suggesting to not do anything about it so they can study him? Jesus Christ.
Inside his brain is completely inflamed.
Fucking...
It's anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis. The symptoms are only going to get worse.
Okay.
It's unfortunate for Will.
Okay.
It's not on me.
Opportunity.
Are we gonna study him?
We didn't find anything abnormal.
Fucking... So yeah, we couldn't trust this guy. Fucking Hannibal. We'll try a different doctor. That is way more fucked up than I thought it would be. Because I was like, it's gonna be psychological. And then they're like, well, no, it's actually physiological. But they're gonna lie to him.
He'll survive anything I can put him through. He will always fight his way back to himself.
Not always. So far.
Mm.
When you take him to a crime scene, Jack, the very air has screws smeared on it. In those places, he doesn't just reflect. He absorbs.
Is he breaking into the crime scene? Is he actually here though? This might not be real. This is what the show has done to me. Just like every scene, I'm just like, is this real?
In Greenwood, Delaware.
Okay, he's doing the exercise of... He's doing the exercise of... I'm me, I'm fine, and... Wait. That's real. That's real. Oh! And now he time skipped. What the fuck? What time? It's been a couple hours.
It's 1:17 a.m. We're in Greenwood, Delaware. And my name is Will Graham.
Did he call someone?
And you're alive.
Can you call someone?
And you can hear me. You're alive.
Jesus Christ. By the way, that woman is ripping people's skins off and using it for herself. I just want to point that out.
Her eyes were discolored. She was malnourished, jaundiced. The liver was shutting down. She was deranged.
So she mutilated a woman's face because she thought it was a mask.
This is a very interesting killer.
If she did kill Beth LeBeau, she might not even know she did it.
Then why did she come back?
To convince herself she didn't. This killer can't accept her reality. I can occasionally identify with that.
I like how like every case it just comes at the perfect moment for the character drama.
My name is Will Graham.
Thank you for humoring me.
What does it look like now? Does it look awful? Does it look it looks awful.
If there were ever anything that might be of therapeutic value to others, I'd abstract it in a form that would be totally unrecognizable.
Just do me a favor and publish it posthumously.
After your death or not?
Whichever comes first.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that. That might be how the show ends.
She couldn't see the victim's face, or she was trying to uncover it.
The inability to identify others is associated with cutats. It's a misfiring in the areas of the brain which recognize faces, and also in the amygdala, which adds emotion to those recognitions.
She reached out to someone she loved, someone she trusted. She felt betrayed, became violent.
She can't trust anything or anyone she once knew to be trustworthy. A mental illness won't let her.
Would be a piece.
You thought she might be dead.
Well, that makes me sound like a horrible mother. I tried to be a good mom. I tried to do everything that I could. I just don't want her to be in pain. She had seizures, hallucinations, psychotic depression. Blood tests and brain scans, and all of them inconclusive. And I did my own research. I wrote down every word that the doctors said, the different terminology. Learned a lot. But mostly what I learned is how little is actually known about mental illness. All they know, it's rarely about finding solutions. It's just more about managing expectations.
This is really good. This almost feels like the writer just reaching out to the audience and just being like, hey.
You know, when Miriam last died, I had to come back here to this office to pack up. But that got to be too overwhelming. I thought I should just leave, seeing as how I had gotten a trainee killed. I pulled her out of a classroom, like I pulled you out of a classroom. Why are you still here when the both of us know that this is bad for you?
Fair question.
You want me to quit?
No. No, you had an opportunity to quit. You didn't take it. Why not?
I want you to give me answers.
Let me tell you what I think. I think that the work you do here has created a sense of stability for you. Stability is good for you, Will.
Stability requires strong foundations, Jack. My moorings are built on sand.
I'm not sand. I am bedrock.
Okay.
When you doubt yourself, you don't have to doubt me too.
Will has a remarkably vivid imagination.
I want to hear this.
Beautiful. Pure empathy. Nothing he can't understand, and that terrifies him.
You put out the fire?
Or do you let it burn?
Will is my friend. He will put out the fire when it's necessary.
We will toy with him until then. This is a weird,
Be over
like,
before you know
dark test that the doctor himself is doing, this might not even be real. Like, what was the room so dark? Yeah, this is not real. You're gonna see a giant deer and a dead body. If this is not real, then this is going on for a while. Like, okay. Yeah? Yo, was that real? That was real. That was real. Okay, cool.
I told her, tried to tell her. The night I saw her, I tried to tell her she was alive. Maybe she heard me. Maybe that hadn't occurred to her in a while.
She's here. Yo, this episode is pretty good. Oh, she's underneath your bed, isn't she? Okay. Okay. Let's talk.
See you, Georgia. Think of who you are.
Think of the time where you are and say your name. I like that that comes back.
You're not alone. We are here together.
Wow. Is she crying too? Fucking wow. I love that resolution.
Really want to talk to this young woman when she comes to. How much do you think she'll remember?
I sincerely hope for her sake she doesn't remember much.
That's fair. Okay. Oh! Okay, so she's dead. She can't see faces. That's true. Wow. Oh man, she could be dead though. Like, not in the literal sense, but in the sense that Hannibal might kill her. Well, we'll see, we'll see. Oh man, it's fucking funny when Hannibal says some shit like, for her sake, I really sincerely hope she doesn't remember much. And it's like, oh, because she'll remember doing fucked up shit. And then it's like, no, because if she remembers, you'll have to kill her. Oh my god. This show loves doing like a last minute reveal at the end every time. just concerning the episode. It might not matter in the end of the day, but it's just there just to show it to you. Okay, so this episode was fucking good, man. Because I really love this killer. And it's also, okay, so it's also like a killer that is like, it's not just some random, you know, it's not just some random killer like previous episode. It's actually someone that, well, every time we have a case, like the theme of the case intertwines with the character drama every time. That's the reason why they're here. But in this case, we also have to see this person. I think her name was Emily. So, okay. Here's the thing about this episode. Is that Will has encephalitis. We've learned this. Let me Google what encephalitis is. It's inflammation of the brain. Okay, sure. But what does it cause, though? I mean, we can see what it causes, but prognosis. Show me the symptoms. Acute onset of fever, headache, confusion, and sometimes seizures. Drowsy or confused person, stiff neck due to irritation of the meninges covering the brain, indicates the patient has meningitis from encephalitis. So they also said a specific type of encephalitis. I don't remember which one, but yeah. Thing is, Will's broken. Will's brain is broken. And it's just like, and you see the picture, and it's like the right side of the brain is just completely inflamed. Just all of it. It's just all red. So it's like, okay, he's actually broken. Okay, cool. But the thing is that they lie to him. Like, they just straight up lie to him. Hannibal convinces the doctor to tell Will, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with you, so they can, like, study him or whatever. Well, he convinces the doctor to study him, which I was like, okay, what are we doing that? But then the reason why Hannibal wants to do it is because he wants to convince Will that it's actually mental illness. Like, it's psychological, not physiological. So, is it just because by doing that, Hannibal gets to spend more time with Will? Is it literally that? Because that's the only thing I'm thinking of. And it could just be because I'm stupid. But I cannot think of another reason why Hannibal will want to do that, because he cares about Will to a degree, but like, is it because he just doesn't want Will to stop seeing him? Because if the problem is physiological, then there's only so much you can do with therapy, which is why Hannibal is here. And if Will doesn't need therapeutic help, which, well, he should anyway, I feel like he should still visit a therapist, but if it's actually physiological, then what the fuck? Like, is it just because he doesn't want Will to leave him, to just actually go see doctors to get like a proper physiological treatment, and instead Hannibal is like, no, you're gonna stay with me and we're gonna do our dumb clock puzzle solution thing, you know? And I do like that he said that, because that's like, okay, we're gonna do this little exercise. You're gonna draw a clock and you're gonna be like, all right, this is the time of day, this is who I am, this is where I am. All right, done. So I like that he said that, because then Will, throughout the episode, keep doing that. Because every time he felt like he skipped time, he used King Crimson or whatever. Yo, Will has literally the power of 2 stands. I suppose it's a worse version of King Crimson because he cannot see what happens during the erase time. But he can totally use Moody Blues. That's crazy though. Whenever like a character from like a real show just straight up has like essentially a superpower. He has a stand. Anyway, thing is that he does the reminder to himself. And I also like that he said, I have the bad habit of collecting strays. So the first thing he did to the lady, to the Emily, I think is her name. So after he found himself during the skip time, he was like, oh man, it's been 3 hours, I don't know how I got here, I know who's around. And then he just literally screamed, okay, this is the time, this is where we are, and we're both alive, you're alive, you know, he says, you're alive. And I like that he was in a way thinking about her, because like, Will is the ultimate empath, so he has complete perfect empathy, so he's thinking, okay, she probably feels alone, all these things, because we have somewhat profiled her already, so and he can like infer a couple things from what he saw, so there you go. And I like that I came back, that she's actually like she actually like she's a broken person that needs help. That's the thing. That's literally the thing. So I really like this bad guy in a lot of aspects, because she's so broken, and it also reflects Will a little bit. Like I said, he's collecting strays, and she's in a way a stray. You know, she's someone that doesn't even realize that she's alive, and this has been the case since she was 9. And I don't know how old she is right now, but let's say that it's been like 16 years or whatever, maybe more. We can go into 20 even. Like she just doesn't realize what she is, and the people around her, she cannot see faces. Like, I do like having like a killer that is so like broken that they don't even realize what they're doing, because in a way it makes you feel bad for them. And it like, here's the thing, it's that like, I don't necessarily always feel bad about the person that does a bad thing, that the show tells you, well, this person had a tragic backstory and this is how it went, and then they were like overcome with grief or with anger, and this is why they did it, and then they were like, oh man, it's fucked up. It's like, I understand it, but I don't necessarily feel bad about that. But if you show me someone that is just like actually broken, just like their reality doesn't even function, I'm just like, okay, I feel bad now. Like, I feel bad for those people that die, but I do feel bad about this girl, like, more even. Like, because, like, you look at her and she's literally wearing other people's skins. Like, what the fuck? And it's not because she's like, and it's not even a situation where she realizes what's happening, almost. So I really like that. And I do hope she's a character that comes back. She could not be, but she also could be, because at the end they were like, okay, we'll see if she can recover, if she can remember something. But like, it could just be at the end where it's like, she remembers that there was someone that had no face. So she can't say it was Hannibal, but she can say someone killed them that wasn't me. Nobody might believe her, but maybe they could. I suppose Will could theoretically use his ability, Moody Blues, to go backwards in time and see with his third eye that it was Hannibal who killed the doctor. Theoretically, he could do that, because for all we know, he has fucking magic powers. But they're not going to do that. Hannibal's going to remain hidden. But, I really do hope she comes back in some way, but she might not. She might just be forgotten to time. And the thing is that even if there's like a minor chance of someone being able to throw Hannibal under the bus, that person's gonna die. So she might be killed by Hannibal. We'll see what happens there. But okay, so that's happening with her. Now, Will, let's talk about Will. We learn exactly what's wrong with Will, and it's physiological. His brain is broken. Okay? So there's literally nothing he can do. And there's nothing anyone else can do. That is not... Can you treat encephalitis? Treatment. Antiviral medication if it's a virus. Antibiotic if it's bacteria. Steroids are used to reduce the brain swelling. Sedatives for restlessness. Acetaminophen... I have no idea how to pronounce that. Okay, whatever. Paracetamol for fever, and occupational and physical therapy if the brain is affected post-infection. Okay. So there you go. There's not a lot you can do, but there is some stuff you can do for different bursts of encephalitis, like the different causes. So, I don't remember which one was this. And I don't remember when they said it. Like, can you find the scene when they said what he has? Anti-MMDA receptor encephalitis. What the fuck? Okay, I found it. Anti-MMDA receptor encephalitis. About half of cases are associated with tumors, most commonly teratomas or ovaries. Another established trigger is herpes-viral encephalitis, while the causes others is unclear. So it could just be unclear because it didn't specify. Treatment is typically within immunosuppressive medication, and if the tumor is present, surgery to remove it. Treatment, about 80% of people have good outcome. Outcomes are better if the treatment is begun earlier. Long-term mental or behavioral problems may remain. About 4% of those affected die from condition. Recurrence occurs in about 10% of people. Okay, you can treat it with medication, and if there is a tumor, you can remove it. 80% of people have a good outcome, and the outcome is better if the treatment is begun earlier. So Hannibal, by not telling Will what's actually going on, he's actively hurting Will. He's actually doing something bad. I mean, not just because of that, but like if he cares about Will, then he's actively doing something that is harmful towards Will. It's not just something that is like, well, I'm gonna hide the truth from him until I can't anymore. It's a situation where it's actually something bad that he's doing. So there you go. Man. So Will is broken and there is medication. You can treat it. And if there's a tumor, you have to remove it because it's a fucking brain tumor. They're not telling him. And in fact, they're gaslighting him into thinking that it's actually psychological. So Hannibal can continue to have his dumb conversations and dumb, drawing exercises or whatever. I mean, in a way that helped solve this case, but like, bro. Yo, that scene where Will is taking the MRI with the doctor near the end when the doctor dies, I really thought that wasn't real. I really thought it wasn't, because it was like, okay, why are we here? Why is the room so dark? It seems like it's nighttime. Why is it nighttime? Why is he here alone? Why is there no one else here? This has to be a dream. Like, this has to be a hallucination. This cannot be real. And then it kept going. Because, okay, then Will comes out of the machine and he's alone and there's nobody, and I'm like, well, this is not real. But then it keeps going, and then you see Will walking around and he's putting his clothes back on, and it's like, okay, what the fuck? And then it keeps going, and the further it keeps going, the less of the likelihood of it being a hallucination it is, because it wouldn't drag on that much. So then it turned out to be real. I was fucking wow. I was like, wow, really? All right. So that's fucking... This episode is really good. And it really does touch on an active physiological issue versus mental illness. What the differences are and what they can do. Fucking Hannibal is gaslighting him into thinking that there's nothing wrong with himself other than psychological. So he's going to continue to treat him psychologically. But... Will's it's not doing good. Will might not have a good ending in the show. Like, fucking, this is wild. Okay, sure. And I do like the one scene where the girl's mom, she was talking about it, and she was I like that she clearly cared, but she also just kind of wished her daughter to die, because she was like, I just want my daughter to be at peace, because she's not going to be at peace as long as she's alive, because she doesn't even realize she's alive. And she's out there killing people or whatever. Like, it's bad. So she just wants her daughter to just die and be at peace, maybe in the next world. Like, that's it. And I like that she talks about how she kept talking to doctors, and doctors were like, I have no idea what's wrong with your girl. And they just kept theorizing. They were like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but they were just guessing. And then she started reading about mental illness. And I like that she's like, I kept reading about it over and over. And it just became more clear the further I dug that there's just not enough information about the topic. There's just not enough we know about mental illnesses. It's just an area that people kind of don't give a shit about. And the only way, like the only aspect of it that people care about is not like how, what is it exactly what she said? I got the gist of it, but I want to get her exact words out. It's rarely about finding solutions. It's just about managing your expectations. It's like people don't bother trying to actually come up with a solution because it's complicated. Mental illness is not a joke. It's complicated. So it's just like, well, treatment is just something that's just weird and complicated, so we're not going to deal with that. Instead, it's just going to be like, all right, your kid has this thing, they're fucked up, all right, this is what you got to do in order to just kind of deal with it. And it's just like, that's not what the parent wants to hear. That's not what anyone wants to hear, and especially the person who's affected. And like, that's the thing. Oh, God, I don't like saying this because I don't have a proper diagnosis, but I feel like I said it before. So at this point, just double down on it. It's the fact that I think I have ADHD. I have not gotten a diagnosis for it because it's expensive, but I'm pretty sure I have it because enough areas of my life have been ruined from potential symptoms of it, looking back, and including rejection sensitive dysphoria, which comes hand in hand with ADHD. So it's just been a mess up in here for the past 20 years for me. Well, in general, I suppose. But the thing is that if you search for it, about like anything about it, yes, there is medication, but every like article you read on or any like medical document, not any, but most, it almost feels like they don't care. It really just feels like, well, this is just kind of how you deal with it. And it's not even aimed at the person who's suffering from it. It's aimed at like a parent or someone else that is dealing with someone else who has it. It's just like, this is just kind of how you deal with a person who has it. But it's not offering actually a solution towards, like, it's the thing. It's like, you're suffering from this. Okay, what are some of the problems that a person who leads a life like that have? You don't know because they don't specify that. And what can you tell someone like that who has had something like some similar experiences? Because I'm assuming you can find a lot of similar experiences from people who have like a same condition. Like, they don't, no one ever like in any article tells you, well, this is kind of how you have to see things or alter your mentality in order to kind of deal with it, because nobody actually has firsthand experience, and people that do are not the people that are writing those articles. So it really comes off as a cold, like, from the outside, I don't know what to do here for you, and I'm not going to spend my time doing that, so fuck it. This is more or less how you deal with it if you're a parent, and that's all you get. This might just be like a random poll that I'm trying to say here, because this is just like the experience I have with it. So yeah, I don't like going further into that topic because I just start feeling like shit. Because I just start feeling like I shouldn't be talking about it. Until I don't get a proper diagnosis, then I'll be all up in people's faces. But before that, I'm not gonna say anything, I suppose. But I do like how the episode did absolutely touch on that. It was the idea that there's just not enough information and not enough people care. And there should be, because it's a really serious topic, and it's a complex topic that really, really ruins your life if you're someone who suffers from it, and even if you're someone next to someone who suffers from it, like the mom here. Because you see the mom, and she's clearly something that like cared, but it's not so. It's someone that just kind of gave up. Like, I like the mom character here a lot, because she's someone that clearly cared, because she kept going to doctors. She kept trying to read about what to do. She kept trying to read about solutions, and she never found any. Like, she always cared, but at some point she was like, there's literally nothing I can do because there's not the resources. So there you go. So that was super interesting to me. I really like that. I really like this episode. It was a really good episode. And we learned some stuff about Will. And okay, so there was the scene with Jack Crawford where Jack Crawford is like, what is it that he said? He said something along the lines of like, well, the gist of it was, Will, like, listen, when you're not trusting yourself, you should be able to trust me. So what he's saying is essentially just like, it's like a rough way of saying, Will, I got your back. Like, listen, I got you. You don't have to lie to me. Please don't lie to me. Tell me when something's wrong. Tell me what's happening so I can be there for you, okay? If you're gonna... Because like he says, I think this job brings you stability, which is something you didn't have before. That's why you keep forcing yourself to do it. It's not about saving people. It's about you being like, I have something in my life now. And because he's like, I have something in my life now, there's a weird noise in the background. Don't worry about that. It's just some... Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was, I don't know. It was someone blasting a Latin American cumbia. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The thing is that what Jack is essentially saying is, well, I feel like you need this job. Like, that's the only reason why you're continuing to do it. Because Jack is not saying continue to do it for me. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, I give you the chance to fucking leave, and you didn't take it. So now I'm trying to understand why. And I think that the reason why is because you feel like this is good for you. You feel like you need this stability. You feel like you need to be doing something that you're good at. So you're continuing to do it because you're like, all right, I have to do this. Like, I need to, I want to. So then he's like, if you're going to keep doing it, like, I cannot tell you not to. And I suppose he could. But he's like, if you want to continue doing it, then fucking do it. But remember that I'm here for you. Remember that I understand that you have issues. And I don't want to, like, actually, like, fuck you up for good. Even though he kind of is already there. He's like, listen, if there's a problem, if there's an issue, I want you to tell me about it, okay? I want you to be open. I don't want you to not trust me. Like, Jack is trying to establish trust. And trust is something that is very important. Trust is something very, very important. Like, the more I grow up, the more I realize how important it is to feel like you can trust someone. And so I like that Jack is like, Will, bro, you can trust me, okay? You can tell me when something's wrong. I don't want you to deal with all of this crazy shit on your own, okay? All right. He didn't say it as nicely as that, but that was the gist of it. So I did like that. Anyway, so what else do we do? Did she... Okay, give me a second. Was she wearing a wig too? Emily, I think that's her name. She's wearing a fake everything, but I think she's wearing a wig too. I mean, not a wig, but like someone else's hair. Because when you see her at the end, she's blonde, isn't she? Or maybe her hair is just so dirty that that's just what it looked like. I suppose it's a little bit black and a little bit blonde. It's like a mix of both. I don't know how much of her body, like, why was her body fucked up like that? I think they said it, but I forgot about it. Like, her liver was just malfunctioned or something like that. Yeah, I don't know what her deal was. But sure, her body was just decaying for some reason. But they said she could recover, so there you go. But anyway, I think that's it for this episode. Is there anything else I want to say? Maybe not. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. So yeah, thank you for hanging out and here and watching Hannibal with me. And alright everyone, if you would like to watch next episode of the Hannibal reactions plus full-length reactions, you can do so over at Patreon. Check out the link in the description for that. I should be the first pinned comment too. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So, bye bye, take care.